Hi fourth graders and welcome to Math Workshop. Today we're going to work on using fractions and liquid measures to solve some problems together. Let's get started. So today we're really going to work on converting liquid measures and solving problems that involve fractions. Let's get started on our math message. I want you to complete the following table using everything you remember about converting liquid measurements. Take a second and pause the video, and I want you to think 1 gallon is how many pints? How many pints are in 1.5 gallons? How many pints are in 3 1/4 gallon? And how many pints are in 5 3/4 gallons? Pause the video, and when you're ready, press play. Okay, so I remember from earlier in the year that 1 gallon is equal to 8 pints. So in order to find out what 1.5 gallons is, I know that half of 8 is 4. So to find 1.5, I would add 8 plus 4 to give me my 12 pints. Similarly, when I'm working with 3 1/4 gallons, I know that 1/4 of 8 would give me 2. So I have 2 and 3 groups of 8 to get me my total of 26 pints. For 5 3/4, I know that when there are 5 groups of 8, that gets me 40. And if I remember from earlier that 1/4 is 2 pints, then 3/4 must be 6 pints. So my total here would be 5 3/4 equals 46 pints. A helpful way to remember this too is always think of that image of that G in your head. 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. Each quart is equal to 2 pints, and each pint is equal to 2 cups. This is super helpful to try to keep this image in your head as we continue to work on our conversions. But today I want to introduce to you another use of liquid measurements that we use a lot here in the United States of America. Do you know that there is a liquid measure smaller than a cup? We use fluid ounces when we're trying to measure things that are smaller than a cup. A lot of the times when you go to the grocery store, if for instance you're picking up some Simply orange juice, it'll tell you how many fluid ounces are in that container. Same thing would go if you're ordering something like tomato sauce. But the image I always like to keep in mind as we move forward when using fluid ounces is that 1 pint is equal to 2 cups, just like I could see how 1 pint is equal to 2 cups. But inside each of those cups are 8 fluid ounces. The sign for 8 fluid ounces is FLOZ. So today we're going to work on converting using fluid ounces to help us as we go. Let's practice. I want us to take a minute to complete this scale. On top, our scale shows fluid ounces. On the bottom, our scale shows cups. I want you to pause the video, and I want you to work on converting the blank spaces in between from cups to fluid ounces and vice versa. When you're ready, press play. Okay, so I'm noticing if I look at my fluid ounces side of my scale first, it's increasing by groups of 4. 4, 8, 12. So based on that information, I know that this point here should be 16 to make 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Now let's move down here to my bottom part. So I'm seeing how it looks like it's increasing in increments of 1/2. So if I have a half and then I increase to 1, my next spot here would be 1 1/2, 2, 2 1/2. And then this, I apologize, this here should be written as 24, which means that this here should be 3. So now that we've filled in our conversions, I can see that 1.5 cups is equal to 12 fluid ounces. 2 cups is equal to 16 fluid ounces, and so on and so on. You can use this scale or you can use this image to help you with your conversions. So now that we've had a chance to use our scales and our images, let's work on some problems that involve converting. 1 cup is equal to 8 fluid ounces. So how many fluid ounces are in 2 cups? How many fluid ounces are in half a cup? How many fluid ounces are in a fourth of a cup? Pause the video, and when you're ready, press play. Okay, so I know that if 1 cup is 8 fluid ounces, then 2 cups would have to be double 8, which would make 16 fluid ounces. When it says how many fluid ounces are in half a cup, if I know that 1 cup is 8 fluid ounces, to find half of that, I would have to divide 8 in half, which would get me 4. So 1/2 cup is equal to 4 fluid ounces. Finally, when I'm trying to find a fourth of a cup, I'd have to try to figure out, well, what's a fourth of 8? If I break 8 into 4 equal pieces, what's one of those pieces going to be? To do that, I'm going to divide 8 by 4. And when I do that, I get 2. So 1/4 of a cup is equal to 2 fluid ounces. Let's try one more problem together. Miss Roberts is making smoothies. Yum, my favorite. Her recipe calls for 3/4 cups of almond milk per smoothie. How many fluid ounces would Miss Roberts need to make all 5 teachers a smoothie? Okay, so first let's think about, well, what do I know about this problem? I know that Miss Roberts is making smoothies. I know that each of her smoothies calls for 3 cups of almond milk per smoothie. And then my problem's asking me to convert that to fluid ounces for 5 teachers. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm first going to multiply, okay, and try to find out, well, how many cups is that? So to do that, I'm going to multiply 5 times 3/4. Okay, 5 times 3/4 can be looked at the same as 5/1 times 3/4. When you multiply your numerators, 5 times 3 gives me 15. 1 times 4 gives me 4. 15/4 can also be equal to 3 and 3/4. So I know that Miss Roberts needs 3 and 3/4 of a cup to make her smoothies. But I need to remember, it's asking me how many fluid ounces that would be. So now I need to convert. And I need to think, okay, well, if I know that 3 and 3/4 cups are needed, to find out how many fluid ounces that would be, I need to multiply it by 8. I'm multiplying it by 8 because 1 cup is equal to 8 fluid ounces. So to find out what 3 and 3/4 is, I need to multiply it all by 8. So I'm going to multiply my wholes first. 3 times 8 is the first thing I'm going to multiply. I know that 3 times 8 is 24. So she's going to need 24 there. Next, I'm going to multiply 8 by my fraction 3/4. Your denominator is not going to change. You're just going to multiply the numerator. 3 times 8 again, which is 24. So I have 24 and 24/4. If I was going to make this mixed improper fraction into a mixed number, I'd see how many groups of 4 can fit into 24 and add it to my wholes. When I do that, I find out that Miss Roberts would need 30 fluid ounces of almond milk to make all 5 teachers a smoothie. Okay, so mathematicians, today you're going to get started on Thursday's Math Google form labeled Fractions and Liquid Measures. I want you to remember, 1 cup is equal to 8 fluid ounces. That's going to help you when you are solving your problems. All right, get started.